Hey everybody, my name's Wyatt. I am one of the Black Cat members. Our collective has been here for 9 years, and our mission is that we're dedicated to identifying and understanding systems of oppression and figuring out how to dismantle them. One of the ways that we do that is by growing a garden, and our yard is a big garden, and today I want to show that off to you. Some of the reasons we do have a garden is because we like to be more connected with the land. We like to understand what plants are growing all around us. We like the food security that we get from having a lot of fresh veggies coming to us. And also it's a really good chance for us to get to know the people who live in our neighborhood more. Cool. So the first thing I want to show you is our rain barrels. So check it out. These are kind of the lifeblood of our garden. These are the cardiovascular system of our garden. What we did was we just started with the existing gutters way up above, and we rerouted the downspouts to direct them into the top of these big blue barrels. And then coming out of the bottom of these barrels, we put PVC tubes that direct the water out to areas where we can collect it to water our plants. You can see really expensive rain barrels in the hardware store and stuff like that. We did everything as absolutely cheaply as possible. As you can see, these boards are not exactly clean cut. All of it is waste materials. It comes from dumpsters, from Craigslist ads. Some of it's just stuff we picked up on the side of the road. For example, this, I think this is a table leg, this black thing here, is a great support. We just picked it up. These barrels are all food grade barrels from industrial use that restaurants and the school system use to get food in, and then the vendors sell them off once they're empty. We rinse them out, clean them out with soap and water, and then we use them for our water. These ran about 10 to 20 bucks a piece. We have 8 of them here, so we've got about 400 gallons, 450 gallons of water storage in just this array. We do make sure to always have screens on top of our barrels, just so there's no pests or mosquitoes breeding in there. And you might wonder, why did you build this huge thing for these barrels? Well, the fact that these barrels are 3 or 4 feet up off the ground gives us a lot of water pressure. So that makes it so that our hoses spray faster, the water comes out faster, which is really convenient for when we're watering. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the plants that we have growing in our yard. Right here is plantain. This plant is considered to be a weed by most people, but we actually really love this plant, and we see it growing, we leave it alone because it is super medicinal. It's antiviral, antifungal. It's anti-inflammatory, so if you ever get a mosquito bite, you can just kind of crunch up this leaf, and you can just rub it on that mosquito bite. It's going to make the swelling go down. It's going to help that itching stop. Also, it's super yummy. This is a great snack. It's a really nutritious spinach. I love it. We have a lot of other plants growing around here that a lot of people would consider weeds, but we actually like to grow them, eat them. For example, right here we have lamb's quarter. This lamb's quarter is all volunteer, just popped up wherever it wants. Super nutritious, really good for the soil, super delicious. Clover, sweet clover, dandelion, some of our favorite plants that just come up and grow when we allow them to grow. We do pull out some plants that we don't like. We have bindweed, we have crabgrass. We do pull that stuff out. But a lot of the plants we just try to allow nature to do its thing. Weeds are sort of nature's way of fixing the soil in a natural way. So whenever there's a weed growing, you know that it's actually helping your soil a lot. We also grow plants that we grow from seed. We've got a really nice tomato plant here that's starting to get ready to be harvested. Some beautiful tomatoes. And notice what we've got this guy growing in. This is an old car tire that we found in the alley behind the house, and it was filled with water. It was growing mosquitoes. So we cut the walls out of the tire, filled it up with compost, and now it's a great planter. It's not causing a problem in the neighborhood producing mosquitoes anymore, and it's a beautiful planter for us. We love to use recycled materials like that. We have other plants that we grow in our yard that we are considered more production plants, veggies. We've got some really nice potatoes right here. They're starting to get ready underneath. We've got rhubarb growing. As you can see, we live on a pretty busy street. You just saw the bus go by. At rush hour, the 16th Street here in Lincoln, Nebraska is really pretty filled with traffic. And we kind of like that because it means there's a lot of people that come by our garden. This sidewalk here, we're right next to a grocery store, so there's a lot of people that walk through here, which is super nice because they engage with us and they engage with the garden. One of the things we're working on is getting our mural space ready. This is a covering for our rain barrels, these green panels. Right now we have our Water is Life signs, but we're looking for an artist to paint some really cool murals up there. So if you know anyone, please come over here and give us some of your art. We would love to have it. As we move this way, you're going to see some of our production gardens, some of the raised beds that we use to really grow a lot of the food that we eat. These raised beds are nice because we can fill them up with compost. We've had sticks, twigs, old weeds, anything that we can find. The neighbors have given us their leaf waste. We've put it in here, and so we've gotten a pretty good, rich compost pile. One of the beds we're proudest of is our perennial bed. We have inside here strawberries. They're some of our most productive plants. We love our strawberries. This cage is not for humans. There's a sliding door on the front, but it is for birds and squirrels. They love the strawberries. And ever since we put the cage, we've had a lot better luck with them. We do grow some strawberries outside the cage just so those animals can get their share too. We grow herbs. We have lemon balm here, which is delicious, super healthy. Sage growing here. We've got a rosemary plant. It's a little bit hidden there. And there's some tea drinkers in the house, and we all really enjoy making teas out of these plants as well. We try to keep the areas in our garden accessible, so we have these nice wide pathways between the beds. We try to do a lot of gardening right on the sidewalk, so that as people are walking by, they can just go straight into the plants without having to climb over any bumps. One of the things we really like to do in our garden also is save seeds. As you can see, this beet plant right here has some really nice seeds that will grow some really yummy beets in the future. They're actually just about ready to harvest. Actually, these ones are ready to harvest. And the more years that we harvest these seeds, the better the stronger genetic material we get. They get more adapted to this area that we're in. You know, if you order seeds online, they come from all over the country. If you use the seeds that you grow, it's the plants that grew here, and you know that they're going to do better next year. We've been saving seeds for 3 years now. We're starting to get a pretty good collection. Now I want to show you one of the coolest parts of our garden, and sort of the thing that got the whole thing started, which is our native grass lawn. When we started the gardening process, the whole lawn was bluegrass, it was crabgrass and thistle, kind of like these yards over here that you see, and that's pretty much what the whole neighborhood is filled with. We have endeavored to take all of the bluegrass and crabgrass out using tarps and soil bags and pretty much whatever we could find to suffocate it. And then we removed the tarps. We had pretty much a moonscape. We mulched. We put tons of mulch from the free city mulch piles down. And then we seeded it with buffalo grass and blue grama, which are native to Nebraska, indigenous plants. They don't need water. They don't need mowing. They don't need chemicals, unlike traditional lawns, which require a lot of those inputs. And as you can see here, it's very soft. It's really nice to walk on. It's super beautiful, and it's a habitat for a lot of super beneficial insects and pollinators that we need here where we're living. And you know, most of all, it's just a wonderful contrast to the concrete of 16th Street. This is a very beautiful place. We're hoping, our plan is to eventually fill the whole yard with these plants as they reproduce and spread outward. So we're gonna walk up the driveway a little bit, and I wanna show you this other rain barrel array, one of the 4 that we have on the property. It is set up so it can, just using the power of gravity alone, can water all of these beds. We turn a faucet and we have hoses hooked up throughout all the beds that will allow water to flow onto the roots of the plants. We love the fact that we can use gravity to distribute our water without any pumps, without any electricity, just Mother Nature helping us out there. You know, there are some difficulties to gardening. You know, we started off 3 years ago kind of being amateurs, and we did make a lot of mistakes, and we definitely still make mistakes. But we do enjoy learning about it, and we've learned a lot about gardening and about ourselves through the process of doing it. There's a lot of people that come to the house who say, you know, wow, your garden is so cool, it's so beautiful, I'm so interested. People ask questions. People are really excited by our garden. People are looking at the beds, picking food sometimes, and we love to share. And overwhelmingly, we get a really positive response from the neighborhood. There are some people in the neighborhood and people who commute on 16th Street who report us to the city authorities for having a disorderly yard. Our opinion is that our yard is beautiful, but we have developed a relationship with the city regulators and city officials over the last few years in an attempt to follow the law and not have fines or repetitive harassing letters telling us to change what we're doing. And we have managed to form a relationship with the city officials, and we do have sort of an agreement with them, sort of a spoken agreement. It kind of depends on the month and which regulator we're talking to, but it is something that you can work through, although it is a challenge. So as we walk back up the ramp here, you know, we get a chance to kind of look over the garden again, and it's just really rewarding to see how much we've improved the ecosystem here. I mean, we've had a huge resurgence of insect life and birds visiting the yard ever since we started gardening. We have a lot more humans who stop in our yard and are talking to us and are interested about what's going on. We have really nutritious food that we can eat. We have beets, we have tomatoes, we have herbs, we have strawberries, peppers, lettuce, you know, a lot of different foods. In the past, we've had pumpkins, potatoes. It's just really rewarding for everybody, all of us who work on this garden, to have those types of things. But at the Black Cat House, gardening is not the only thing we do. You know, as we get to the top of the wheelchair ramp, I'm going to tell you, you know, we also have educational events. We do community discussions on a regular basis inside the house. And we also are involved with a lot of other projects around Lincoln, where we have partners and other community organizations that we work with. Also inside the house is a really nice library. It's a big lending library. It's free to the public, and we love when people come and check it out. So, you know, the Black Cat House here at 1601 Street in Lincoln, Nebraska has a lot of cool things going on, and we're going to make some more videos about those things coming up soon in the future. So stay tuned for those videos, and thanks for watching this one. And you can check us out at our website and also on Facebook, and hopefully we'll see you next time.